Hi, Max. It's great to see you. So much has happened since we last worked together on your cover magazine production. During the time you won the Mirabelle Trophy on Dancing with the Stars with Meryl Davis, that was one of the most memorable and exciting shows of the season. Audiences around the globe got to really love and appreciate your competitive ballroom dancing, as well as your passionate personality on Dancing with the Stars for 17 seasons. And now you've currently pivoted into an exciting new chapter in your career. You are starring in the vertical drama series Wild Silence, where you play this powerful role of Jack, a widower who suffers from this profound loss, and he's on a transformative journey. And it's really a compelling departure from the dance floor and a true testament to your range as a performer. So congratulations. What was it like for you transitioning into this role of Jack?
I mean, first of all, thank you. This is it's good to see you. And what a you gave it just enough time to mention the winning of the Mirror Ball, and then all the way to here, and sort of like in my head, I just went through that arc as well. Holy crap, how much stuff has happened, right? Like what a life. But yeah, that was over a decade ago, and to me it was like yesterday. All the feelings and emotions. Um, and then today I have three children, some of whom are smarter than me already. So it's like it's a roller coaster. I've always wanted the transition to be into acting. But look, we're in LA, and this town is all about that. And you come across a lot of people who are here. This isn't about that, but who are here not for the right reasons, right? So like everybody in this town wants to be famous. I do not. I just have a job, and I had a job rather when I got here. So that was my whole existence. When you become of age, and dancing is no longer something your body can handle on the level, right? You start looking for outlets. I do business. I have a lot of opportunities there, different opportunities from chain of schools to brands of vodka. And this is not to cry me a river. I have a fantastic life. But people don't realize that although dance is that, I've only got to enjoy it as art, probably just my tours with Val and Peter. The namesake Max and Val tour that we did in 2016. My production with Max, Val, and Peter in 2018. My brother and I were in Napa for 3 months doing Saber After Hours stage immersive. So, those moments I got to live and enjoy as an artist. But all the other stuff, I mean, I started dancing when I was 4. I consciously don't know how not to dance. And so that's a big thing, because then that becomes not really my creative outlet. That was my sport. That was my, determination, work ethic, whatever. Dancing with the Stars was a lot of things. Some of that I got to enjoy as an artist. Let's just be that way. And so today I wanted to transition, and I started acting a long time ago. I just never did it. I went to schools, I went to lessons, I went through a bunch of different coaches here in town, and I met an amazing lady. Her name is Ivana Chubuk. She has a system, she has a book, she's world renowned. And I did lessons with her and in her studio 13 years ago, you know? Um, and then life happened, and all of that stuff that you just said, and all these years, and I've accumulated so much life, no acting experience other than a couple of episodes Val and I did on Fuller House. We had an amazing time. But decade plus of life that happened. And me personally, as a Capricorn, a fellow Capricorn, you understand the way our personalities work and how we accumulate knowledge and information, and when we're ready to spit it out, right? And over 13 years of found kind of like settled foundation of beginnings of acting, but on the right level. Ivana has an amazing system of script analysis and, the process of substitutions and understanding what word actually means to you versus the way you say it. So those things have settled, and it took me over a decade. And so when the opportunity presented itself, it was perfect. It's the first time that in vertical format that they are attempted a dual format where it was a vertical and a feature. It was the first time in vertical formats that the script and the way it was filmed was much more expanded. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll be the first to be a part of something that's now happening. People don't really know where to put it yet, but again, we're gonna get to it, but vertical format is viewed by close to 1 billion people already. The app My Drama that produced this Wild Silence got bought into by Fox. All these elements, it was like a perfect storm. And guess what? I got to, I have an incredible wife who took 3 kids and a dog and said, okay, you can go for 2.5 weeks to, Athens, Georgia, and be in the woods and, dive into this. So, I mean, I honestly, I'm the luckiest. It's an incredible opportunity. I got to be creative in a different way. I got to be physical in a different way. I got to move my body, which is something that people also notice. I got comments about how, like, the movement and all of that. Again, just an innocent bystander who had an out of body experience, and it turned out to be great. So I'm now, looking forward to more of that. But it's surreal to do this and not talk about the cha-cha,
And I wanted to get into your family and all that. I mean, you're so busy. You have a beautiful wife, Peta, who's also a former pro dancer on Dancing with the Stars, and 3 gorgeous children. And I seriously enjoyed watching your videos. They're hysterical with you and Peta and the kids who come in, or the baby. So I know it's got to be a really difficult to balance the two, because creative fields require a lot of discipline, a lot of focus. And I want to get into that, but I'd like to get a little bit back to your character, because I was really blown. I mean, it was so compelling. Like you said, I want to speak to the point. When you were in these fight scenes and when you got shot, that had to be very difficult, like emotionally and physically demanding. So what was that like for you, the preparation process for those scenes?
I focused on me and sort of like my conversations with the director prior to the filming and sort of the direction that I was given. And I was trying to like hone in on all the processes. The first big fighting scene actually happened pretty much, early. Yeah, it was shot earlier in the shoot. And I was like, holy crap, we're doing this? Like all of that? That's just crazy. But again, you have stunt coordinators, and depending on how lucky you get, they can be great at their job. They can also happen to be amazing people. And thirdly, they were great educators. I got a dude that put this entire fighting sequence together on the fly, and taught me in the process. And then I went into like the questions. Max does his thing when he gets passionate and excited. Now I have a list of things I want to know. So, I mean, we had more than one fighting sequence, and I got to learn a lot. I got to understand that I do have a leg up in certain aspects of this because of the need of choreography and learning steps. And this is just, it's movement is movement. Especially, what am I specializing in? Partnership work, right? Partnering. Physicality is something that I definitely look forward to moving forward. In terms of the depth of this character, Jack, he's a Harvard graduate who lives in the woods for 6 years because his wife committed suicide because her cancer came back. I mean, there's just so much that this guy is going through, right? And so how can you possibly connect to that? For me, it was incredible to know the technique of acting and being an actor and understanding that here's how you put this together. And depending on how far you want to go, is how much you draw from your life. And I went like, let me do everything. Let me just throw it all and see how, because I was just trying to work with what am I capable of? How far can I go emotionally? What can go through my head in a moment of this, right? So there were few moments where it just got away from me. It was like an out of body experience. Like I said, you go through life, through lies and trauma and drama of Jack in my head. I was, yeah, it was a lot of therapy. Let me tell you that.
Did you feel like you took on the role of Jack, like during that time, like you really got in that mindset that that's who Max was Jack at the moment?
There are a lot of similarities. Once you do the work, I found, his closeness after trauma, the fact that he can't really process it. He's got to he's got to go into solitude. Um, his mute friend dog, who I, by the way, named Max in a script.
I saw that. I know. I'm like, you must have done that. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I want to call him that. And can I call him Max? And they're like, yeah, of course. That's incredible. So yeah, no, I did these little, Easter eggs just for myself, so it'll be easier. But again, if you get lucky with people that are putting this together and you have an incredible director, that I got lucky. I can't say it any other way. I was being pulled things out of. I was being directed. I was being navigated the right way.
Most of the scenes were outside in the woods or at night. Were those conditions difficult for you to film and shoot in?
No, I mean, that was fun. That's why I thrive. I persevere when it's hard because it's not a pat in the back, but because that's when I can shine. I shine when it's most difficult for others. Give me that, put me in that situation. I can fail, I can fall, but you will see the work ethic, the the passion behind getting it done right. I didn't want to let people down, and as a matter of fact, when I saw that, the compliments, I stopped it, but I did take it in the way of like, okay, so it's working. Let's press gas. Let's see how far we can go.
So did you have to prepare for the fight scenes like the day before or hours before, or no? They just threw you into them.
Again, some of the stuff was on the fly. Some of the stuff was like, hey, we need a river scene. We don't really have a river yet, but we found this. Let's go check it out and see if we can do it. And then we're all hiking with equipment and towels through the woods to go shoot right there because that whole river situation was very specific. I mean, it was amazing. I loved it. It was an amazing experience. All of that was incredible. Being thrown into scenes was amazing. Not having too much time to rehearse was amazing. But again, being part of an incredible ensemble and having these people do amazing stuff. Kudos to camera guys that do these things in water. Kudos to the stunt coordinators. Those are that's, I mean, that job goes so far beyond just here's how you punch in the face. I can't. It's a big part of acting. Just listening, taking it all in, and having that type of experience.
And Wild Silence, like I mentioned before, was movie-like. It was cinematic. What was your favorite scene to film, to shoot, that you really enjoyed?
The fighting sequence where he kind of like Jack sort of, in the last moment of, getting up from his knees and the whole situation. Where is she? Where is she? That whole sequence was probably my favorite because I realized it's not like, oh, so at this particular moment is just swinging arms and kicking and all that. That's the part that I had to really be emotional about because you can also fight with a different presence, right? And so for me to maintain the character and do these things, and I just gotta say the emotional stuff, like the conversations. There's a moment when they talk by the fire, and so we shot that scene, and I hated it. I hated me because there was zero. I didn't. It was so flat. I hated it, and I I'm not gonna like, hey, let's go back and reshoot or blah blah blah. You know, it's not my thing. But then the director came up like, we got to redo that scene. I'm like, thank God. And so then I really wanted to make sure that it lands. And you know, although I didn't get to work on it again a lot, that scene became something that I really enjoyed. I was, you know, Jack is telling her about, you know, that he has her back, you know, and there's sparks, if you will, between them. And so they're having a moment. And so between that big fight sequence and this moment, I feel like those two scenes really did stand out. I just have to say that, you know, when time comes for the horizontal traditional feature, it's also might be a little different edit, you know. So I'm looking forward to that edit as well. Um, yeah, but those two moments stood out.
What I also found that you were really great in was after you were shot, because that was so, you were believable. So I was watching your acting there, and that was, you know, when she was doing the stitches, but that was really great acting, and it really felt like that was happening. So I really like applaud you for your acting. I thought it was great. So you said you were 2.5 weeks in the woods filming. Is that how long you were on location for?
2 weeks, yes. 2
2 weeks.
weeks, Athens, Georgia. There's a fantastic crew. They're called Sky Film. The leader of the gang, Alexander Kane, he was, by the way, the character of Owen. So Alex owns the production company that put it all together, and so it was amazing, you know, to get to know these people. This is my second actually shoot with them. I filmed something else, but that's more of that later. It's gonna come out probably later. Um, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to have met a group of people that love to do this stuff. They love movies. They love to make movies. Um, I'm looking forward to this. There are already few things on the table. I'm very excited about, but it's the work, it's the job, it's the getting it, you know, one thing at a time. It's receiving that type of foundation, and then seeing where it ends. Listen, you know, there are incredible stories in this town. There are a bunch of people in you know, historically and currently, that I look up to and that I sort of model my presence after, if you will. And I cannot wait to have some really serious opportunities.
How would you compare the preparation process between dancing versus acting? Is it similar or different?
Yeah, I mean, now that I draw parallels, you know, actively, right? I am honing in on the fact that look how much I spoke about, hey Max, what would you say to my daughter? She's a dancer. She want, or he's a, you know, dancer, whatever they want to be. You know, what would you say? My go-to was always what, 10,000 hours, right? It's easy. All you have to do is talent multiplied by how much you've done it, right? And so, right, if you know that you're not as talented, but you can kill it with 30,000 hours, you know, versus someone's 10, right? So it's a simple equation of effort. You know, for me, I want to go all the way. I'm looking forward to be presented with something challenging in the way that this was. Wild Silence, because of the nature of its format, it's vertical, right? So it's mini series. That means that that episode has to keep you drawn to the next. And so what that means is that we've shot 2.5 movies worth of material, because every episode has to be filled, emotion, physicality, you know, some kind of drama, resolution, right? And so I again, I was privy to a movie that required of me 5 fighting sequences, 3 emotional moments, couple of this, couple of that. So it wasn't just one of each. It was a an incredible learning curve. But just so that you know, Christine, as soon as I came back, I was like, "You're now a little bit warm, right? Let's get thrown in the into the fire, right?" And I went straight back to my class, and I went, you know, a scene partner. I got a scene out of Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. A moment I was playing Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, and talk about coming off of this experience, and I just put myself right into experience that you know, and this isn't even about for the cameras. It's about getting up in front of the class of your mates. Who, my scene partner, in my opinion, was one of the most professional
That's great.
actors that I've ever been, experienced with. So that's kind of like where my mind goes. And so that's what I look forward to is like, where's that script that I'm going to bring and prep it on a different level?
You also are co-founder of these ballroom dance studios. You have your own company nationwide in various states, various locations in states. I don't know how you're doing it all. I'm like blown away. You have little kids, a wife, and how are you doing it? Are you going to those dance studios?
Yes, very much. Super involved. Looking forward to, we are about 8, 9 months away from our next step. This is a very exciting step for our little company. Look, we celebrated 20th anniversary this last year, which happens to be the same anniversary of Dancing with the Stars in United States. So, we go hand in hand, and we look forward to our transformation in about a year. So that's as far as Dance with Me goes. We're excited. I'm very much in it. Yes. Where do I find time? I'm lucky to have, and again, we put in a lot of time and effort, but our company is strong. We have more people than me, my Val, and my dad. So it's running great. I actually have a separate company. I started my vodka brand. It's a huge opportunity at the moment when people are looking at me like, why would you do that? Alcohol business is shutting down. It's not. There's a client and a customer for a high-end product in every category. And so as long as you produce the best possible thing on the shelf, we'll be all right. So Coppa is thriving. We're growing. We're doing amazing. We opened Georgia. We're about to open Florida. We have presence in, we're about to have presence in Arizona. We're big footprint in New York and California. So this is great. But like I said, 3 kids, 9 takes your entire life. 2 and 1 take the rest of whatever's left. And and I am still, I just want to say it right and not corny, but I'm as in love with Peter as the day, I saw her and understood that I'm in love. We are a real couple. We do, we go through real emotions, but we really are that fond of each other and want to be together and want to make sure that this works no matter what. And that's what the kind of the secret to our, to our doing this, to everything that we're doing. I'm proud of Peter. She has an incredible company called Peter Jane Beauty. So she's a super mom by every definition of that word. We are not, in a position of such comfort that, whoever the people are watching this going to be like, yeah, but listen, you have all this help. We don't, we have to, bribe and split grandparents with Val and Jenna, who also, have a similar situation and they also have a kid. So look, I'm going to speak for myself. I need Peter, first. And I've always said that these beautiful, amazing humans that we're growing are a byproduct of our relationship. I'm never going to replace Peter with the follow-up, right? And so as long as that remains, our kind of base, everything else is easy.
And that's the recipe to having a great marriage. I mean, and that's beautiful. And that's what I would aspire to have and what everyone else should. So, no, really, I think it's beautiful. You guys you could see the chemistry when you do the videos on social media in Hollywood. So congratulations. It's really beautiful to watch. But I want to talk about Coppa because it is produced in Napa Valley and marketed as a clean vodka. And I want to know about that chocolate martini. I'm watching the Caesar salad martini. Was it the swamp one?
The swamp martini was sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a chocolate one, but I couldn't find it. I want to have that chocolate one because I'm a chocolate freak.
It wasn't a chocolate martini. It was a Nutella vodka thing. I mean, I made vodka butter at some point. That one was great, but you got to be very careful because it was very good. I did it with Kerrygold butter and I blended it, and yeah, with a nice toast and the right nice type of garnish on top.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous situation. Um, Listen, I'm having fun with this, and but the kappa, I designed the label and the bottle. It's named after my aunt, so I gave it my family name, if you will. I'm very much behind that product. The thing is that I wouldn't be interested in it if it wasn't special. And what makes it special is that it's handmade Napa Valley Distillery. There's only one distillery in Napa Valley, and therefore, and I'm the only product that is in distribution nationally. So where in the world, on the planet Earth, I'm gonna say it as dramatic as only I can. I am the only spirit outside of beer and wine. I'm the only spirit that says made in Napa. And
Wow.
that's pretty special
That's
considering
great.
what Napa represents in alcohol world and the world of consumption and how it's produced. So for me, when the opportunity came to come up with a spirit, I said it has to be vodka because there isn't a good vodka out there. Everything tastes like nail polish remover, right? And let's be honest, the process of creating vodka, if anybody knows, it's not so glamorous. So it's always kind of like whatever. Let's make a bottle look cute and let's have a big personality presented. My vodka is made from Sauvignon Blanc grapes from Napa Valley
Wow.
and part wintergreen grains of the highest quality from Missouri. It is separately blended, which is separately distilled, which is a major key, and then gently blended. So you have the notes of the grain, right? You have the crispness and nuttiness of the grain. You have no additives to create the sugar content, right? There's no cereal, by the way. We're not even going to discuss that the way other vodkas are made, and we're not lying to you on the label when we say it's handmade. I like to say that I have a name and a face attached to every vintage, which is again something that we call bottling process, which is very different from other vodka brands. I don't want to get too far, but I promise you, when this is all said and done, it's a high end, maybe the only sipping vodka on the market. And if I am wrong, then I welcome anybody to come and have a sip of. Right? Let's have a taste.
All you have to do is keep making those videos of those martinis, and everyone's in. I mean, I want to. Oh my God, that's huge! Congratulations, that's amazing. There's so much you can do with that. And can you go into liquor stores across the country and get it?
In certain states,
Okay.
the best way to do is coppervodka.com. Actually, can order online, and I can send it to you. So again, very exciting.
That's exciting. And that came out last year, right?
Couple of years old. Last year was a big year for New York and California, and now we're in 4 other states.
You've been on Broadway. I mean, what is it that you can't do? You were on you were in Burn the Floor, Dancing and Forever Tango. Any plans to ever return back to Broadway? I mean, your range is huge.
100%. But the next time I come back to Broadway, as in dance format, it would have to be with Peter. I would love to get back to where Peter and I met, and our kind of relationship started materializing. So if the opportunity comes up to potentially be a part of Burn the Floor, where her and I met, I think I would absolutely love that.
Max, how about Dancing with the Stars? Would you ever return to the show?
As a judge, I would love to. I
Okay.
would love to. I would love to be a part of that lineup because if for multitude of reasons, many reasons, I would love to be part of the panel to present my point in the way that's professional, that fits the format. And I think it'll be a lot of fun to be on the desk with Derek. I think our relationship has gone through so many transformations. We're very fond of each other at the moment, And I would love to have that kind of work ethic with him and see how it goes, because he represents a very specific side. I respect it a lot. I do have my opinion on a lot of things. And I think that we can create a great contrast. And it doesn't mean that it's just a two people thing. I'm just saying I would love to be a part of that process.
That would be amazing. But I really want to see you dancing on the show. I know judges like what you should do, but I really miss. I mean, I was left with that season with you and Meryl, and
If you're gonna ask me if I would ever return to Dancing with the Stars as a pro,
yeah.
the answer has to be a no. And
Okay.
it's not a negative no, it's a beautiful no. It's a thank you for 20 years, and I finally can put this behind me, because it's also very hard for me. People don't realize it's hard for dancers to stop dancing. This project was with a, love-hate relationship, whatever it looked like from the side. It was love relationship for us, right? So we lived it, I lived it, and it's been amazing. Today, I mean, I don't know how to pursue, this passionately when someone comes in and they're now in my hands to be molded into a opportunity to present themselves the best possible way as a dancer. That used to be my life. That was my life for, better part of my 46 years on earth. But I don't think I have passion for that particular format as a teacher. I have a passion for, promoting dance and teaching dance in a format of Dance With Me, my company, right? Because that's a little bit different. This, I don't know if I'll be the best. Yeah, if I'll be the best version of the pro that's needed for this opportunity. I do know, however, that I have a huge passion to promote dance, to present dance, to speak on the fact, on techniques of dance, on technicalities of making it as a dancer. And again, presenting my side, my point of view, my view on things that I have passion for. And I think it's natural. I waited for Peta all these years. I think that I'm looking forward to an opportunity to do something with her for sure. She's a special dancer, always have been. And even though for the last 10 years she was more mom and a business owner, I think she still has a lot of kick in her left. And so I would love to be a part of that.
She's an incredible dancer. I loved watching her on the show too. She's phenomenal. Back to Wild Silence while we're here. It is a fantastic concept. And it was so cool to download the app. I was like literally getting a pedicure. I was watching it. Like you could watch it anywhere.
So that's the beauty of it, right? That's why it's like, if you're gonna, if you're gonna go backwards and force people into the way things used to be, okay. But if you're gonna look forward to presenting them with a better and a higher quality within a format that they also enjoy, why not? And so, watch me when you do your manicures. You know what I mean?
I really enjoyed it. And lastly, any projects you had mentioned you're filming something, or any projects we need to look out for?
I think I'm gonna. So I have a couple of scripts. I just can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know who that guy is, but I have a couple of scripts on the table. I have an opportunity to do my own, my own project. I also have few other conversations about dance related things. So many ups and downs with Peta, that the way we are right now, we're so happy, and so lucky, and we feel very, very blessed. We're mostly focused on our family, but we have all these other outlets that move this thing along. We just kind of, we're in a place where we just, things come, we process them together. We're happy about things. We're not happy about it. We just, so we have a plan for the next year and a half, 2 years, and then we'll see what happens. I don't want to be like, the whole social media is yelling at you to do it this way. You got these big time business people sitting there in these conferences, legs crossed, yelling at you that you live wrong and you have to, forget your kids and wife and grind and lock in, right? So lock in, you just gotta lock in, man. I'm like, go ahead. I'll mine is coming. I just want to enjoy my kids. I want to enjoy Peta.
The thought just came to my mind, the sardines, how PETA doesn't like the sardines or the fish. But I gotta tell you, everything that you cook or make, she does it. I saw that. I want to eat everything that you got to do more of that stuff. You're gonna sell everything.
Sardines, but by the way, little plug, so Fish Wife, it's a great brand. They love me too, but
Yeah.
I love them back. So sardines, Fish Wife, open it up. I actually filmed that video. It's amazing. It is amazing. This is my go-to. The biggest source of creatine, natural, the biggest, one of the great sources of like potassium and all that seafood related stuff. But creatine, major key for recovery. Don't get me into that conversation.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Max.
Thank you so much, babe.
Okay, you
Thank you,
take
thank you.
care.